Hey everyone, good morning. It's Rebecca Undum, and you are watching Rebecca Undum Live. I am outside of a bank in Lisbon, North Dakota today. I'm at a Creative Cities conference, and so stepped out to come to you live because it's Monday, and it's a little before 9, so I'm sorry, but I had to step out like when it was conducive. I just can't walk out in the middle of things, right? So I come live at you. I come live at you Monday, no matter what's happening, no matter what's going on, and so I'm happy to be here. All the mamas on the call, I hope you guys had an amazing Mother's Day. I got all my flowers planted. I don't know what you guys were doing, but that's like my favorite thing, is when all my flowers go, and my mom helped me tremendously, so it was a pretty great day. Okay, so as you guys come on, if you could say hey and let me know that you can hear me and see me and we don't have any issues, that would be fantastical. Since again, I'm outside and I have no idea if you guys can hear me like you're supposed to. So, okay, yes, I'm kind of just standing like right in a parking lot. So people are going to be coming by me. It's kind of ridiculous, but again, this is life. This is my life. This is what we're doing. Okay, so today, this month's theme is, okay, hey Flo, thank you for saying hey, so I know you guys are with me. This month's theme, May's theme, is all about making a fresh start. And so last week, our first weekly installment was all about letting go of what we thought was supposed to happen, and which is a really big deal, right? Like, you get these ideas in your head of how your relationship should be, or how your career should be, or even how motherhood should be. You know, damn, did I do that when I first had kids? It was awful. And it was awful. I mean, my expectations were completely blown. And then I sucked at it. I felt like I sucked at it, and I couldn't seem to come back from that. So that's a really important one. If you guys missed it last Monday, I urge you to go back and check that one out. But today, we got Anna. Hey, good morning, Anna. Thank you. Thank you. I've had these glasses for a little bit, but people like these ones. It's kind of fun. So thank you, sweet girl. I appreciate that. Okay, today what we're talking about is celebration. And you know, if you guys have, again, if you spend any time with me, you know how important I think it is to celebrate. Hey Jack, good morning. Celebration really, really matters. But I don't think we always really take the time to celebrate the small wins. And when we are talking about making a fresh start, this idea of starting new, so maybe again, to give you some context, maybe you are re-energizing a business idea. You know, maybe you are starting, like I'm here for my small town. So I'm like here at this conference on behalf of my Chamber of Commerce, and we're here to learn new things about different ideas we could implement in our community, right? Any of those things would qualify as making a fresh start. And the thing with wins, what we're really talking about today, is the fact that oftentimes when we set a goal, you've got where you're at today, you've got out in the future where you want to go, and it looks like this insurmountable space between where you're at and where you want to go. And if you get in that mindset that you haven't arrived, or you haven't, I'm going to do air quotes here, succeeded until you get all the way to that future location, you are missing out on probably tons of opportunities to celebrate along the way. And so I'm going to tell you that this actually, first, the concept, it was a principle. It's a Dale Carnegie principle from How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's one of his 30 human relations principles, talking about, I'm going to actually give you the straight out of the book, old school Dale Carnegie wording, because it's that appropriate. But it's be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise is one of the things he talks about. And then it's praise every improvement and praise the slightest improvement. Okay, so those two things go together. Like when somebody is starting something new, and so this is you, if you've got a fresh start and you're looking ahead and you're trying to make this change. I mean, let's take health for an example. Do you celebrate every time you eat a carrot stick instead of a cupcake? Do you celebrate every single time you walk around your block? Because you should. Okay, every little step in the right direction is something to be noted and to be celebrated. And so today I want to share just 3 simple reasons why. See, we got a car coming right by me here. It's hilarious. Like, people are looking at me like I think I'm some BFD or something, and I don't, but you know, this is how it works. Again, I'm in another very small community doing this live outside, so it could be interesting what happens here. But this is going to be kind of short one. So 3 reasons why celebrating the little wins, the small wins, is so, so important. Okay, number 1, dopamine. Okay, dopamine is a drug, a hormone that we should crave. We do crave it, and we should do anything we can to put ourselves and our bodies and our minds and our hormones, our systems, in the way of creating more of it. So just like gambling or doing some other probably less constructive, like a less constructive addiction, dopamine is the high, the hormone that releases when it's the feel-good hormone, right? So when we acknowledge that we've done something, even if it's small, even if it's tiny, we get a hit of dopamine, and that's a good thing for your system. Okay, so the first is just to recognize that especially when you're trying to make this enormous change, we are, and I will say this, for sure women, but all people probably, you think of how quickly we feel bad about a small mistake. Like, we don't let a single small mistake slip by without acknowledgement, do we? We are letting many, many opportunities for celebrating wins slip by, okay? So again, in this sense, you're thinking one small thing, you take one small step in the right direction, you'll get a hit of dopamine the second that you acknowledge it. And we're gonna talk at the very end about like, how do you acknowledge it? But chase the dopamine, like it's there for you. It's a feel-good hormone. It will put you in the mood to continue forward. Number two, it will keep you in the present. Naturally, by their very definition, goals tend to be out in the future. And you know, every single one of us, if you've ever done anything on the personal development side of things, they talk about being in the now, right? Being mindful, slowing down, you know, that you really don't have any other moment than what's right in front of you. Well, then damn it, if you've done something to move yourself towards that big crazy goal that's way out there, you can't live out there. We don't get to be in the future. So it's the way to make that future goal a now thing that you get to experience and you get to enjoy and you get to acknowledge. So every little step, every little success needs to be acknowledged, okay? And I'm serious, ladies, I think about some of you that I know that are on this call, and it's like we withhold that love and that appreciation for the work that we're doing, for the effort that we're putting in. We hold off until we achieve the big goal. Well, that's crappy. And I'm going to say this too, for any of you that are that were parents, really thinking about this with our children is so, so important, because man, I always get a little teary-eyed when I talk about my kids from this standpoint, because I tend to be the mom that's fixated on what they're not doing right. I don't love that about myself. I'm not proud of that necessarily. But this is it's just as much for thinking about how we honor ourselves when we're trying to set a new goal or make a fresh start as it is for the people that we support. So if you've got children, think about this too. Like, are you really acknowledging every little incremental step in the right direction? Okay. Finally, number three, it builds resistance to the roadblocks that you are inevitably going to face. Because, and I don't care, okay, so at the end here, we're going to talk about like how to do it. I don't care how you do it, but we've got to do it. Because I will say this, I've been on a health journey of my own since last August. If I gave you guys a rundown of what I shoved in my face yesterday, like straight up, it'd be straight up embarrassing. I track my food generally. Yesterday, I don't know if it was Mother's Day, and I was like, screw the tracking, woo, whatever. I chose and I decided, I'm not proud of all of the choices that I made, but I refuse to be, to wallow in it. And then I reminded myself also to celebrate something good that happened. So I didn't make great food choices yesterday, but I still got my workout in, right? That has been something that's been really important for me, because if all I do is aim, it keeps me also from aiming for perfection, which again is a tendency of mine. I don't know if any of you guys struggle with that when you're starting something new, but when there's all these pieces, if I don't do each piece just right, then I tend to beat myself up. Instead, you've got to look at it and say, what are the things that I did well? What are the things that I actually succeeded at? And then taking a moment to celebrate them, because those little wins add up to big results over time. Those big, scary goals, they're a combination or an aggregate really of a bunch of small tasks and things. So here are a few ways. Okay, so I'm going to recap that real quick. So really just chasing the dopamine hit, because it's natural and it's good for you. The second is it keeps you focused on the present instead of staring out into the future and feeling overwhelmed by the size of the goal. And then number three, it helps build resistance for the challenges that we're inevitably going to face. It reminds us to stay focused on the things we're doing well. Okay, so how do we do that? I have a few ideas for you. this is not, because the thing is we tend to think that celebration needs to be something, a lot of times people get wrapped up in the idea that it needs to be reward driven, which means we either spend money or we eat food. And that, I mean, okay, so I made this face. It's okay if that's what your reward is, but it can be something as simple as just stopping. You could create a jar of awesomeness. Like a jar, a physical jar where every cool thing that you do, that you physically do, that you're proud of yourself for, you write it down and you pop it in the jar. Think of how quickly that jar would fill up. And then when you're feeling like a pile of crap, which we all do at times, so you're having a really bad day, you can look at that jar and say, no, I actually am pretty awesome because look at all the things that I've accomplished. And if you want to track that a week at a time, you want to track that a month at a time, and then it also creates some momentum to want to do more cool stuff, right? Maybe you set a goal that you're just going to have 30 small wins in a month or a week or whatever. You get to decide. You get to be the driver of this whole celebration. But the thing is, we cannot ignore the importance of celebrating. You can high five yourself. You could smile at yourself. You could stand up and do a happy dance. You could sing. You could, you know, I think it's really important to have a space to do that in the Groove Seekers community. It's something that we do. We celebrate our wins. One of the days is called Toot Your Horn Tuesday. Like, go ahead and brag on yourself a little bit, right? For the Win Friday. I don't care what and how you do it. Just don't ignore the fact that if you are trying to accomplish something big, every little step deserves recognition, because you know damn well that you're beating yourself up for every little misstep. So make sure that you are balancing that out with the positive. Okay? So, friends, what do you think? You good? Are you going to start like getting in your mind like, all I do is win, win, win no matter what? That's what I think of. When I think of these moments, like you get yourself a big old jar of awesome, that's how you're going to feel. You're going to feel that good. And that's the mindset that we need to carry us forward and like get over those challenges and get over those hurdles, whatever it is that you're chasing, whatever your fresh start is made of. So that is what I have for you today, my dear friends. The last thing I will say is I still have a couple of spots left for the Big Life Retreat. So if you have not seen or heard of the Big Life Retreat yet, I'm gonna drop the link in the comments and I want you guys to go check it out. Because seriously, so there's so much love that I have poured into the creation of the event, and it is all for women that want to live big in small towns. And I'm going to go back downstairs with about 20 other people that want to live big in their small towns. So I know you're out there. I know you're out there. I would love to have you join us. I will put all the information out. The registration closes at midnight tonight, so I have time to oh, okay, I'm gonna come to Carly's comment in a minute. You have the rest of the day to decide if you want in, okay? Because I will physically be mailing the boxes tomorrow. And if you guys didn't see, if you're not in the Groove Seekers community, you totally should join us there. But if you saw my video yesterday, I'm having my kids decorate the boxes. And like Andrew wrote, be kind on one of them. So if you want a special box decorated by me and my children, get on the Big Life Retreat. Okay, so Kristen, oh, I'm so glad you needed this today. Seriously, ladies especially, we are so damn hard on ourselves. And sometimes you just need to go, damn it, you know what? I am a little bit awesome. And no, Carly, bye. I do not own the rights to that music. So please don't report me to Facebook, friends. God, that's funny. And now it's stuck in your head. I'm glad, because that's the song that should be stuck in our heads a little more often, I think. Okay, so anything else, friends? For the good of the order, can I help you with anything else today? All I will say is this. For me to walk out of a conference, that is how important I feel it is to show up for you every Monday. And I am so grateful that you guys are always here hanging with me. It's just one of the best blessings of my business. So I'm so thankful for you guys today, and would love to see your faces on the Big Life Retreat. It's gonna be fantastic. 4 hours virtual, but physical goodies. So check it out, okay? Have an awesome day, friends, and don't forget to celebrate yourselves today, okay? Love you guys. Bye.